Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to episode 55 of Monster Kid Radio. It is December 17th. We've got just over a week until Christmas, and I thought for this episode of Monster Kid Radio, we would do the first annual Monster Kid Radio Holiday Gift Guide. I'm excited to go over a couple of things that have been released this year that would make an excellent gift for the favorite Monster Kid in your life, or for yourself if you get enough gift certificates or gift cards. I'll make sure there are links to all of these items in the show notes over at monsterkidradio.net. Also at monsterkidradio.net, you can find our contact information at monsterkidradio@gmail.com. That's our email address. Our phone number is 503-479-5MKR. You can always call and leave us a voicemail, and we'll play that on a future episode of the show. Again, that's 503-479-5657. Of course, you can find us on Facebook. We have both a page and a group. If you're not part of the group, feel free to join, and we'll chat it up between episodes with you. And of course, you can explore our website for everything else we have over there. Links to our YouTube channel, our Live 365 channel, and then the list of all the different bands and songs that have appeared on Monster Kid Radio since we launched. It is in alphabetical order of the band. Now, I'm going to add a new band to that list, the Nick Adams. That's Nick and then Adams, A-T-O-M-S. You're going to be hearing one of their songs at the end of this episode. In fact, this week on Monster Kid Radio, we're going to be hearing nothing but music from the Nick Adams from their Christmas album, The Nick Adams Christmas Record. Obviously, the music belongs to the Nick Adams, and it appears on Monster Kid Radio with their permission. There will be a link to their website in our show notes as well. You might also hear some other music that appears on this episode with the permission of the various filmmakers, the rights owners, that sort of thing. We'll talk about that as we get to it. That'll actually appear in the Holiday Gift Guide segment of the show, which will be coming up right after this.
Hammer Film Productions began in 1934, and after producing almost 200 films and television programs, the studio is still releasing and re-releasing new and classic film titles. 1951 Downplace is the podcast that brings you the story of the great Hammer films, one movie at a time. Here are your hosts, describing what Hammer means to them. First is Casey.
Hammer means the beautiful and glamorous women of Hammer horror, the engaging storytelling, and amazing period films.
Joining him is Derek.
Hammer means the incredible work of actors like Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and even Michael Ripper. The gothic storytelling, the incredible music, and the set pieces.
And finally, here's Scott.
A port city in the Canadian province of Ontario and Canada's 10th largest city.
This boy has a lot to learn. Join our hosts as they make their journey through the Hammer Films catalogue and discuss each film with critical opinion, historical facts, production notes, and other information about these classic films. 1951 Downplace can be found in iTunes or their website, www.1951downplace.com.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Hamilton.
1951 Downplace, the home of Hammer Films discussion.
This is Jackie Ray Naaman Jones. I played Debbie in Monos, The Hands of Fate, and you're listening to Monster Kid Radio.
All right, let's kick off the 2013 Monster Kid Radio Holiday Gift Guide with a couple of books. Now, we've talked about these books on Monster Kid Radio in the past. Earlier this year, I want to talk about Fit for a Frankenstein by authors Paul McComas and Greg Starrett. Now, this book was released in February of 2013, is available as a paperback for $8.09 on Amazon right now. It's also available as an ebook for Amazon Kindle or through Smashwords. This book was published by Walkabout Publishing and tells the story of what happens in the middle of the Universal Frankenstein films when the Frankenstein's monster gets a new suit. There's one scene where he's in a dirty sulfur-encrusted suit, and the next scene is a nice clean suit. Well, Paul and Greg wanted to know how he got the new suit, created the story for us all to enjoy, and released it through Walkabout. It's a fantastic read. I really enjoyed the book. It's a short read. It's quick. And I'm not just talking about length. I mean, it is about 19,000 words, but it's also quickly paced. It's a fast, fun read, and they have got the voice of Igor down pat. As I'm reading the book, I cannot help but hear Bela Lugosi speaking as Igor during all of his dialogue. So this is the first book on the holiday gift guide this year. The second book is Stephen D. Sullivan's novelization of the classic zombie film White Zombie, titled White Zombie. He released it in December on Amazon. You can pick it up as a paperback edition or as an ebook. Not only is there a print and electronic edition of the book, there's a special edition of the book that includes his version of the screenplay of the film. Now, he had this transcribed, had somebody sit down and watch the movie, and he recreated the screenplay based on this transcription. It's a fantastic read. The chapters are short and punchy, and it's real hard to put this one down once you start it. It's selling on Amazon right now for less than $14. As of this recording, $13.49. If you order it now, you'll probably get it in time for Christmas. And like I said, it's also available as an electronic edition for your Kindle, or you can pick it up through Smashwords so you can read it on any other ebook device. You can find out more about White Zombie over at Stephen's website at sdsullivan.com. And as for Fit for a Frankenstein, go to the author's website at paulmccomas.com to learn more about it. I'll make sure there are links to these websites in our show notes over at monsterkidradio.net. Let's talk about some movies that would make an excellent gift for the favorite monster kid in your life. You've heard me talk about it on the show before. We're going to talk about Christopher R. Mims' The Giant Spider. This was released earlier this year and is his best film to date. Christopher R. Mims, for anybody who's new to the show, is a filmmaker who makes what he calls good bad movies. These are movies shot in the style of the classic monster and science fiction movies of the 50s. He plays them serious, but doesn't forget to have fun with them. There are plenty of in-jokes for fans of these movies, as well as fans of modern science fiction or fantasy films. You can buy this movie directly from his website at sainteuphoria.com, and I think we'll play the trailer now.
I've said it before, but outside of an atomic blast, the military won't be able to stop that thing.
A giant killer mutant spider the size of a grain silo is heading this way, and if you're in its path, it's going to eat you. Oh, nuts.
He sells The Giant Spider for $9.99 on DVD. It's also available as a Blu-ray. Now, the Blu-ray by itself is $9.99. You can pick up the Blu-ray and DVD as a combo pack for $14.99. The special features only appear on the DVD. The Blu-ray is just the high-definition version of the film. It looks great. It sounds great. And like I said, it's the best film that he's done to date. It's even got some original music, like the title song from the film, performed by the Nighthawks.
Is it from outer
Another independent movie released earlier this year is Dawn of Dracula from director Blake Powell. Now, this was put out by the Midnight Mausoleum folks. You can find out more about them over at their website at midnightmausoleum.com. Again, there will be links in the show notes of this episode to check it out. Now, Midnight Mausoleum was a horror-hosted program. We had Marlena Midnight and Robin Graves introducing classic horror films for years. Well, they wrapped up their show and then dove into the production of this original movie. Dawn of Dracula feels like a love letter to the 70s Hammer films. It has a definite Satanic Rites of Dracula, Dracula 1972 vibe, but it doesn't forget where it came from, and that's from the beautifully twisted minds of the Midnight Mausoleum team. So Marlena Midnight, Robin Graves, they play different characters than what they played on their horror host show, but it's still them, so there's still a sense of fun. Plus, Thomas Berdinsky appears in the film as well. Thomas Berdinsky is the filmmaker behind the Italian zombie movies Part 1 and 2, and the Giant Rubber Monster movie. In fact, he even did the score, which you can hear in the trailer right now.
I'm investigating a missing persons case. A few people have disappeared under, shall we say, rather suspicious circumstances.
Heading over to their shop page at midnightmausoleum.bigcartel.com. And for the record, Midnight is spelled MIDNITE, mausoleum.bigcartel.com. And you'll find a link to their product page for Dawn of Dracula. You can buy the movie on Blu-ray for $19.99. You can buy the limited edition Dawn of Dracula 2-disc film can set for $35.99, or a DVD 2-disc film can set for $25. The 2-disc set includes the soundtrack. You can also get the mega set, which includes lobby cards from the film. The lobby card set by itself is $17. The standard edition DVD is $10. I've already got the 2-disc film can set myself, and I do have a copy of the Blu-ray coming. I can't wait to see it in high def. This is a definite winner. Another film released earlier this year was called Son of Ghostman. This is not one that I've seen. However, it comes highly recommended by Larry Underwood, and if it's good enough for Dr. Gangrene, it's good enough for me. Directed by Kurt Edward Larson, it tells the story of Denny, who, inspired by a local horror host, becomes a horror host of his own. And we're going to play the trailer so you can learn a little bit more about it right now.
My name is Denny McNamara. I'm unemployed. Got a big day of job searching tomorrow. I was recently dumped. And I'm not very good with women.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I broke the case. Is the phone okay?
In fact, to most people, I'm a loser, just like my hero, an old horror host named Ghostman.
Good evening, liches and gentle ghouls.
But even guys like me deserved a dream.
People need someone to laugh at. They need someone who plays a character yet is completely transparent.
Everybody's got to make a living.
A dream even a guy like me can achieve. For I am the son of Ghostman! We gonna do that every time? Like, every time I say Ghostman? Okay. Rick Heenan.
My friends call me Count Cool.
Welcome, my beautiful night children, to a celebration for all of us!
Yeah, like I said, Rick Heenan.
That's right, soldiers of blood. This guy's going to be the face of horror on late night cable.
Today's audience wants sexy. That is what I do.
This guy.
How did you two meet?
I found him in the middle of his driveway, passed out with monster makeup on.
I recognize that you need someone. Someone to save you.
Thanks.
The fog hits me right in the face.
That's what makes it cool. It's not slick.
Yeah.
You're not cool, Danny.
Claire, what a surprise to see you here.
I live here.
It's a distraction. It's nonsense.
Danny, people are unhappy no matter what they make or what they do for a living. The trick is to find something, someone you love, and hold on to that. Try and make that work.
Well, I don't know that putting monster makeup on is making that work.
You sure about that?
You need me because I am the son of Ghost Man, and I'm here to save you. I'm here to save you.
This feels like a fun coming-of-age story with horror host trappings all over the place. I can't wait to see it for myself. Like I said, Dr. Gangrene highly recommended it, and he's got an interview with the director in an upcoming issue of Scary Monsters magazine, so I'll be sure to read that once that comes out. You can buy the movie from their website, sonofghostman.com. You can rent it or download it through the web. Renting it's $4.99, downloading it's $7.99, or you can buy the DVD for $11.99. This was released in October, so it's still a relatively new movie, which means the monster kids in your life probably haven't had a chance to add it to their DVD collection yet. Now, these are all new independent movies, but there is one movie that's a classic that just had a recent Blu-ray release, and we're going to have Scott Morris tell us a little bit about that movie.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians just came out from Kino on Blu-ray for the first time. It was released, and it has a cleaned up copy of the print, and the sound is really, really good. It's best that I've seen, even better than the ones that Mystery Science Theater 3000 had or any of the YouTube or archive.org. So it looks really great. But included with this special is also a 45-minute Christmas cavalcade of different kitschy 60s Christmas specials, Christmas cartoons, commercials, stuff that you would see in the theater. The management of this theater would like to wish you a Merry Christmas type of things. And it's awesome.
It sells right now on Amazon for about $20?
Yes.
Okay, normal price is about $25. $20 for a feature-length Martian Christmas movie featuring Pia Sedora and Scott's favorite character, which we're going to talk about next week on the show, Droppo. Played by Bill McCutcheon, who would go on to do some things on Sesame Street, that sort of thing. And this film also features one of the most iconic Santa Clauses ever, in that, well, it's basically what Santa Claus would be if you were a kid in the 60s, right?
Yes, played by John Call.
Who's got an amazing and creepy laugh.
And an awesome bubble pipe.
Got to ask you real quick, we are going to talk about this next week, but the song, the opening song in the movie, the title song, how does it sound on this Blu-ray release?
It sounds awesome. It's one of those earworms that you hear it once and you will be singing it the rest of the day.
Nice. All right, Scott, we'll talk to you next week, man.
Sounds good. Obviously, as Monster Kids, we love our monster movies, and the next item on the gift guide is going to make it possible for you to watch a lot of these classic monster movies on your television. It's the Roku device. Roku 3 came out earlier this year. It's $95 right now on Amazon. Sells for about $100 online. I've seen them on sale locally, cheaper. But if you want to get it online, I'd head over to Amazon and pick it up that way because you'll get it in time for Christmas. The Roku device, in case you don't know what it is, it plugs into your television, it requires a Wi-Fi connection, and it gives you access to hundreds of channels. Most of them are free. Now, obviously, if you have a Netflix account or an Amazon account or Hulu, you can link it together and watch your movies that way streaming. But there are dozens of Roku channels, free Roku channels, that I subscribe to. And I check, I'd say, at least once a week to see what is new out there. Some of my favorite channels are the Dorado Films channel, so I can see some great European films, Euro spies, Euro horrors, some spaghetti westerns, that sort of thing. And of course, Argo Man. I also subscribe to the Pub D
Hub channel on Roku. Now, PubD-Hub is a lot of public domain content. A lot of these movies are maybe things you can get in the Mill Creek sets, but it's kind of cool to just have them streaming at your fingertips. And this is one that I actually pay for the premium service. The premium service for PubD-Hub is $2.50 a year. The Roku 3 is a fantastic device. All you need is a Wi-Fi connection. Like I said, it plugs directly into your television into an open HDMI slot. There are some games that come along with it. I think there's an Angry Birds. I don't play those very often, so I can't speak to their quality. What I like about the Roku 3 is that there is a headphone jack on the remote control, so you can actually watch the television and just listen to the sound through the remote, through your headphones, so you don't have to bother somebody else in the room, the other room, whatever. I've got my Roku hooked up to the television in the bedroom, so if I've just got to watch some public domain film or a classic monster movie or Argo Man, I can do so without bothering my wife or anybody else who might be listening in. It's a fantastic device, and I think as a monster kid, you gotta have it. Takes up a heck of a lot less space than the hundreds of DVDs housing the movies that this thing is going to bring into your television streaming. However, if you're a physical media junkie, and I'll admit, as much as I love my Roku, I love having the original discs as well because then you get all the special features and that sort of thing. Yes, I'm a Netflix subscriber. However, there's another service out there called Classic Flix. That's ClassicFlix.com. Classic Flix is another mail-order DVD and Blu-ray rental site. However, they only stock the classics. I believe they have a cutoff of around 1968 or so. If the movie came out after that time period, it is not in their library. Now, what I like about Classic Flix is that they are constantly adding titles that are being released as part of the on-demand programs of the bigger studios. Sony On Demand, Warner On Demand, the Universal On Demand product lines do turn up in the Classic Flix library, which is something that Netflix doesn't tend to do all the time. They've got great customer service because they are one location based out of, I believe, somewhere in California. They only have one hub. So the turnaround time on discs can sometimes be a little slower when you're used to Netflix turning around DVDs in just a couple of days. For $10.99, you can get one disc out at a time. For up to $61.99, you can get 6 discs out at one time. And they don't have a streaming option. However, if you are not able to buy every single print-on-demand DVD that the big studios are putting out, or the Criterion releases, or things like that, and you just want to rent them and watch them once, Classic Flix is the way to go. So a gift membership to Classic Flix is on the Monster Kid Radio Holiday Gift Guide this year. We're going to go from bonafide classics to a classic in our eyes and hearts here at Monster Kid Radio, Monos, the Hands of Fate. And the final item on the Holiday Gift Guide this year is the Monos Hooded Scarf, created by Jackie Ray Naaman Jones of Monos, the Hands of Fate. For $35, you can get a handmade fleece and felt hoodie scarf celebrating Monos, the Hands of Fate. It is a black scarf and hoodie with 2 red hands on either end of the scarf crawling up. So it's got the design of the hood of the robe of the master from the film. Now, she sells these on Etsy, and each one of these is handmade. Admittedly, at this point in time, you might not get yours for Christmas if you ordered one now. However, if you do order one now, maybe you can print up like a little picture of it or a gift certificate and give it to your Monster Kid, just kind of like a coupon IOU kind of thing. Knowing that somebody who was involved in Monos, the Hands of Fate, the daughter of the man who played the master, she played Debbie in the film, knowing that she's making this scarf for you and your favorite Monster Kid, I mean, come on, that's a heck of a gift right there. Now, she does have an Etsy shop with other items for sale as well, including a t-shirt celebrating Monos, the Hands of Fate, and then another one of my favorite items for $50. This is a Monos, the Hands of Fate Master's Robe for your dog. She sells that for $50. Look up Jackie Ray, one word, on Etsy. That's JackeyRaye, and let her know that Monster Kid Radio sent you. I want to wrap up by talking about a music release. Came out in the summer of 2013, the album Monsters of Legend by the band Midnight Syndicate. And they spell their Midnight, Midnight.
Syndicate. You can find out more about them over at their website at midnightsyndicate.com. The album Monsters of Legend, from the press release, is a tribute to the golden age of horror and features sweeping symphonic horror instrumental music and sound effects in the signature style the band pioneered. We want to make you feel like you are a character in one of those classic horror films, that you've entered a world where any one of the iconic characters from the Universal Horror and Hammer films could be right around the corner, says composer Edward Douglas. The CD artwork features original images from classic Universal Studios horror movies, including Frankenstein, Werewolf of London, and Dracula. Although the band promises the new disc will deliver the dark atmosphere haunted attractions, role-playing gamers, and Halloween enthusiasts expect from Midnight Syndicate, they feel they've crafted a disc that transcends their favorite time of year. And I could not agree more. This CD sells for $10.65 on Amazon as an audio CD. You can download it as an MP3 album for $8.99 through Amazon, and I'm sure it's available through other online e-music retailers as well. I'm a big fan of Midnight Syndicate. I've loved what they've done for years, and this was just one of the releases they had this year. They also released the soundtrack album from the film Axe Giant, The Wrath of Paul Bunyan, which is also kind of cool. Again, links to everything in the show notes over at monsterkidradio.net, and happy shopping. Thank you for listening to this episode of Monster Kid Radio. Next time, I'm visiting Krampus, and we'll be hearing from a number of previous guests of Monster Kid Radio when they call in to wish listeners a very happy holidays. Monster Kid Radio is a registered service mark of Monster Kid Radio LLC. All original content of Monster Kid Radio by Monster Kid Radio LLC is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, a non-commercial, no derivatives 3.0 unported license. Of course, as I said at the beginning of the show, that does not apply to any of the music that appeared during the gift guide segment or the song, well, The 12 Days of Christmas, as conceived by the Nick Adams. It appears on their album Christmas Record. You can find out more about it at thenicadams.com. Talk to you next time.
Okay, boys, gather around. I'm going to teach you a little Christmas music.
Shall I get my guitar?
Yes, Coburn, get that guitar.
I'll go get my bass.
No, that's okay. On the first day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me a Die Monster Die DVD.
Oh, I see how this works. Why don't you give it a try, Coburn?
On the second day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 2 Days in the Valley and a Teacher's Pet on DVD.
Hey, you can't just change the lyrics whenever you feel like it.
You can. It's all about giving the spirit of Christmas.
All right, if you want to play that game, fine. Here we go. On the third day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 3 days of the Condor, 2-Horse Town, and Fever Heat on DVD.
See, you're getting the hang of it. Now watch your meter. And here we go. On the fourth day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 4 weddings and a funeral, 3 men and a baby, 200 cigarettes and pillow talk on DVD.
On the 5th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 5 easy pieces. 4 short films by Robert Wheeler, 3 Stooges Meet Hercules, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and Twilight of Honor on DVD.
On the 6th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 6 days, 7 nights, the $6 Million Man.
Wingard, that's supposed to be the 5 part.
Oh, the 7 threw me off. I'm sorry. And 5 on the backhand side. 4D Man, 3 the hard way, 2000 Maniacs, and the Hell is for Heroes on DVD.
All right, now let's show you. I'm showing you.
I challenge you to do it in the tongue of Kung Fu.
I accept your challenge. On the 7th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 7 samurai, 6 kung fu heroes, 5 fingers of death, 4 Shaolin challengers, 3 ninjas high noon at Mega Mountain, 2 fists of death, and the Killing Jar on DVD.
Hey. Wow, that was good.
On the 8th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 8 heads in a duffel bag, 7 doors of death, 6 string samurai, 5 savage men, 4 little
That's
girls,
6.
3 ninjas knuckled up 200 motels, and no time for such on DVD.
On the 9th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 9 plans from outer space.
Hey, that's Plan 9.
Oh, shut up. 8 men out, 7 voyages in bed, 6 days in June. 4 musketeers, 3 ninjas kick back, 2-minute warning, and Young Dillinger on DVD.
On the 10th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 10 million BC, 9 1/2 weeks, 8-legged freaks, 7 Morgan Freeman, 6 days in Roswell, 5 loose women.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah. 4 Fingers of the Dragon, 3 ninjas, 2 If by Sea, and the intern on DVD.
On the 11th day of Christmas, Nick Adams gave to me 11. All right.
You picked the game, brother. You picked the game. You play by the rules. You die like a fool.
11, oceans, 10 commandments, 9 lives for the cat, 8 million ways to die, 7-year itch, 6 packs with Kenny Rogers, 5,000 things in the Dr. For a few dollars more, 3 o'clock high, 2 mafioso against Goldfinger, and Frankenstein captures the world on DVD.
We've only got 1 day left. Hurry up now.
Do it with passion.
On the 12 angry men, 11 adult people views, 10 with Mortar, 9 just ninja, 8 millimeters, 7 big stack alarms, 7 big separation, 1 million years. For your eyes, only 3 on the meat hook and 2 of that subtracted.
And Godzilla vs. Monsters on DVD. And that's what Christmas is all about.